welcome to the Sportsman Show. I'm your host, Joe Musil, for Nutmeg TV from Zoom. Here's my partner in crime, Kate.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first day of September of 2020, the start of year. School is starting to go in session for everybody, and I hope everybody is safe right now.
Yes, stay safe out there. Stay safe.
Keep your
Fingers crossed
that we don't have any cases that spike, and then take it from there, because high school sports are scheduled to go on October 1st right now. So
yeah, soccer's gearing up. Everything's looking pretty good.
Everybody can start practicing.
Lacrosse is
I think it's
practicing.
September 11th, I believe, can start practicing.
Yep. Hopefully everything goes off well, and it's a big fingers crossed.
That's right. That's the biggest part of them all. So we have to start the show today, unfortunately, because last week
the
something
NBA
got builded on where, when the NBA started this, it took effect on all sports at the time being.
Yes, it did.
When what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with what happened, unfortunately, I'm not going to mention names of what happened, because heaven forbid, we don't need the show to become a show where it become racism and all that.
Yeah, we're
stuff.
not 60 minutes here.
No. So what the NBA did is, when this all started, the Milwaukee Bucks were boycotting, and that it sent a big message to all the NBA teams, including the Lakers and the Clippers. And there were, at one point, that they were going to cancel the rest of the season, pending of what they had a big meeting, an emergency meeting at 8 o'clock. The Clippers and Lakers were going to opt out of the playoffs. And I believe the meeting went a while.
Yep, it did.
I mean, I don't know the exact how many hours it went, but it went deep into the night, I think. And everybody came together as a big group.
Yep. With
the teams remaining in the playoffs. There were already teams that were eliminated. So it didn't make a big effect. But then, while this happened with the NBA, the NHL still went ahead and played their 2 games as scheduled. And because of that, I had to check on the Twitter account, and people were giving the NHL a hard time that they should have stopped as well. But they had no idea what was going on until really after the games were over. And I'm kind of glad they went that route, because I think if it did, I don't know what would have happened with our fans, because right now there's a lot of NBA fans right now who are not very happy about having them take a knee and stuff. And I've even talked to a few people where I work at. They've said that they've stopped watching basketball right now, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, yeah, I've heard other people say they're disgusted with the basketball and what happened. And, being a professional athlete is hard. You say you're not a role model, but you absolutely are a role model. You have a voice bigger than a normal person. You have a voice bigger than a normal person. And them taking a break after the tragedy of that happening, it did shock the world a little bit. Maybe it kick-started more conversations on what we could do to prevent this from happening in the future. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that conversations are starting, that they are forced to start making these conversations.
And they took the time to, and I'm glad they talked about it, because what they did in the NHL the next night, they decided to give it a 2-day break, which I'm glad they didn't, say we're going to stop indefinitely, because the NBA thought about doing that. They thought about stopping it right where we are, and, how long this will last and discussed. I mean, the NBA went 3 days without games, which, by the way, some of this is still in round 1. We're not even out of the first round yet. It's a mess right now.
Yeah,
some of the series are started round 2, and I understand they want to keep it moving, getting it along. You're only playing in like 3 arenas and one city in a bubble.
Yep, in the bubble.
But But what stirred the whole thing, the NHL, we do have a couple of black players in the league. Matt Dumba, who plays for the Minnesota Wild, Evander Kane, who plays for the San Jose Sharks, and we still have one who's still playing in the playoffs right now, Ryan Reeves of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. What he did, and Diego Padres, the Colorado Avalanche, on what night was it? It was Thursday. I think it was a Thursday night, okay? They all came together in Edmonton with the teams that were remaining. I think they were all still in – they were still all in the final 8. They all had a big conversation. They talked about it. What I think the NHL has been doing it right is they did it so they didn't have to take another backlash again, because, hockey did not want to stop. And good for them that they didn't stop. They were trying very hard not to, stop the playoffs and, turn into what the NBA did, and the NHL did it right, 2 days. And yes, they did not take a knee or anything. They did listen to a message on the Videotron, but they did not take a knee.
Well, basketball being almost, I'd say, 80% black?
Yep.
Even more.
With the NHL, I think it's only maybe 5% black, I think.
Well, you just named all 3 players.
Yeah, 3 players. There are a few more, but I think the population is about 5 to 7%.
Yeah, it's good that this happened. I don't think they should have canceled everything. I mean, you got your point across, and procedures are happening right now. You got the owners talking. They talk to legislation of
legislation. Yup. Yeah, Milwaukee. Of course, our president had to go over there today, but
yeah, our president. Don't talk about the president.
Yeah, we're not. I'm telling you, he went over there, but
he went over there. Yeah, he went over there.
Yup.
We can put that to rest. But getting back to it, I mean, it's good that it happened. It would have been really tragic if they canceled the whole season, if they just stopped.
Yeah, I think the NBA, if they did that, I think you would have seen a lot more fans decide, that's it, I've had enough. I can't take this stuff anymore. But yes, there are some NHL fans too who, they have, dislike the interest now a little bit, not much, but to agree, and we have to put this into baseball too, because
baseball froze.
The Milwaukee Bucks did it. The Milwaukee Brewers were the first team to do it too.
Yeah,
but I think they only followed the NBA lead. I think.
Yeah, I think they only stopped for one day or something like that.
Everybody in baseball everybody did one game postponed. Which I was okay with, because they followed the NBA too. If you saw the Marlins and the Mets, they had a T-shirt that was put down on home plate, 42-second pause, and then both teams decided, we're not playing.
Yeah. So everybody got their voices heard.
Yeah, even in Major League Soccer, everybody did a one-game postponement too.
Yep. And out there, it's a crappy time right now with COVID-19. I mean, the fires out in LA nobody's really talking about those. But
no, they're not. No, they're really not. They're more interested in the pandemic and these people going back to school
and other stuff. But California is on fire again. I mean, they're cooking.
Yeah, when will that ever stop? I guess something just happened.
Homes and everything.
Yeah. And it wasn't set by a fire and arsonist either.
Yep. And the hurricane, Category 4 hurricane that just plowed into Texas
and Louisiana. Laura.
I mean, that just ruined everything. 2020 has really hit hard. I mean, whoever survives through 2020 right now should get a T-shirt.
Get a diploma.
Get a diploma or something like that.
And the worst of it is, too, Joe, hurricane season isn't over yet.
I know. Hurricane season's not over.
I think it's
Fires
another
aren't
month,
put
too.
out yet. There's a lot of violence and shame and stuff in this world
everything.
right now.
Even the NFL, some team, not everybody, but some teams canceled a day of practice. Yup. And I think what is it? Pete Carroll of Seattle canceled a day of practice to do an interview about this stuff that he did about a 10-minute press conference. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, it needs to be said, Coachy. These conversations need to be discussed.
But do you need to do it at a press conference though, or do you think?
Well, whenever
do it privately.
Well, you can't really do it privately or anything. When you have the mic in front of you and you want to speak about what you need to speak about, you do it.
Right, but you got to do it the right way.
And people have done it the right way. Pete Carroll did it the right way. He spoke about it the right way. I mean, when you have an audience and everybody's paying attention to you right now, you need to say what you need to say. Because in a couple of weeks, deaf ears happen real quickly. I mean, it could go cold again until another violent act happens again. Hopefully it doesn't.
We hope not, please. I mean, if this happens when the NFL season starts next week, what is going to happen next? Yeah. So I guarantee there will be tributes in the NFL when the NFL starts. No doubt about it. Even with fans, some with fans in the stands, some no fans for the month of September at least. Yeah. I think a couple stadiums are going to allow 25% or something like that. Kansas City's going to have 22,000 fans at their opener next week. Yeah. Against Houston. I really haven't heard anything else. I know Philadelphia, New Jersey, and I know New England is not going to have a home. Nope. Fans at their first game next week. Yep. But it's gonna be a rough stretch right now. I mean, this really doesn't feel too much like sports. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, like we hit the pause and we went back to more discussions and talking to everybody. Discussions, talking, and trying to get the country correct before sports happens, Right. But even the pizza scene when I was out with the guys and stuff, it didn't feel like a normal pizza scene. The bar was empty. There was only a couple tables. There was nobody there, just having a beer, watching their teams on the television and stuff. It didn't feel right. I was with the guys and stuff like that. That felt right and good. But it didn't feel right for the bar atmosphere, which the bar's still losing money and some bars are closing. So, well, I think they were doing pretty good at First and Last Tavern. They filled up every table that they had out there. So, outside, of course. I mean, thanks to them, they had a very good pizza and stuff like that. There's a plug for you. That's my opinion on it. They had a very good pizza, very good wings, and delicious. But I know. I'm hoping to hit a restaurant. I hope in October. That is my first hope. Okay, maybe we can do another restaurant in October. Well, maybe it'll. Once I start football, it can get a little crazy again. Yep. But we'll see about that. But yeah, so we've touched that topic for that part, and we just hope that it doesn't have to stop again. Hopefully the violence stops. Hopefully the people who are doing the hoarding and stuff and the looting and stuff, stop that stuff. I mean, you're not speaking to the world correctly on that. No. Your point's not going to get across by doing that. Number one, you can do it, and you can just go for it all and think, yeah, you can be famous for doing it. Yeah. I don't know. But something will
bad will happen if you do that stuff to you. You know,
Right.
another thing will bad.
Karma's going to get you.
Yeah, karma's going to get you. And just go out there and communicate. Go out there and talk to people. Educate them about the subjects and stuff like that. Then, I mean, have a conversation with your mayor or something like that. Get a conversation with your legislation and people like that. Just make sure
talk to your family. Don't talk to your friends about it. Talk to your family.
Well, talk. I mean, if
family
you have
first, friends second, because you know if you talk to a friend, you're going to hear a different opinion.
Yeah, family first, friends. If you want to make some new friends and stuff, try to open up with a good conversation towards each other. Don't do the violence.
Lose friends very quickly. If you
lose friends, you won't make any more friends. That's for sure.
Nope, you'll be an enemy.
Yeah, so just be good out there.
Please.
Let's
all do it just for kicks, please.
Yeah.
Because enough is enough.
Yeah.
So
enough is enough out there. And wear masks, people. Wear masks.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Okay.
Okay. Let's.
We got it. We covered it. That's what I was going to say. Let's cover it, and it's done.
It's done.
Let's talk about for you. Let's talk about the let's go with the NBA playoffs next.
NBA playoffs. Celtics terminated the 76ers in 4 games. I think which was awesome. That was good. That I mean, they utilized their speed and agility around the bigger and heftier team of the 76ers. They used their IQ, their prep time and stuff. That really goes to the coach, Brad Stevens. I think he's coaching this team very well.
I'll tell you, I didn't think he would make it in the NBA after he had a big success with that one college program.
The Bulldogs.
Yup. Yeah, he almost won the NCAA championship game. Only lost to Duke by 2 points.
Yeah, I know. I forgot the kid that he I forgot his name.
Yeah, well, he almost hit a half-court shot.
Yeah, he did. He almost beat Duke with that one.
Yeah, at the last second too.
But Brad Stevens has done a great job. I mean, he's gotten an extra extension. He signed another 5 years for the Celtics.
And by the way, he was the head coach at Butler. In case you're wondering.
Butler Bulldogs. Yeah, Bulldogs.
But he just kept on. The last couple of years, he did a wonderful job. Once he got a call for the Boston Celtics after Doc Rivers moved on to the Los Angeles Clippers, you gave him an opportunity, and he has not disappointed. He's been to the playoffs all the years he's been there.
Yep, he's a strict coach. He knows
he's young. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's a very good student of the game. I mean, he's a very high IQ coach. I mean, that's what you need. And if you put players around him, he knows how to motivate players to another level. He designs perfect plays for players to utilize their skill and stuff. I mean, even with the Celtics going like a smaller lineup like they are right now with Marcus Smarts and stuff like that.
Way, he's only 43 years old.
Yep. I mean, he's 43. He's going to be in the league for a long time. Just signed a big 5-year extension.
Danny Ainge's happy with him. This is the happiest Danny Ainge's been since they beat the Lakers.
Doc Rivers, championship. I mean, the Celtics are just they're they're good enough to make the Eastern Finals. I don't know if they're good enough to beat like a LeBron or the Clippers.
Well. That's if they get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
You remember the Milwaukee Bucks right now. They're in another world right now. As much as they're the best team, remember they've still got other things on their mind, so they could lose their mind focus on the team.
Yeah, they can. But let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. They lost one game to the Magic. Just a fluke game. They didn't show up for that game. Giannis, didn't really show off for that one. But the next 4 games, Giannis showed up. He asserted himself. He won Defensive Player of the Year.
Lights out, basically.
Yeah, he played lights out. He controlled every game that he was in. I mean, I've seen him take a rebound and go 3 seconds and be in a layup on the other side of the court. I mean, that's how dominant he is. I mean, but with the Heat, they lost to the Heat. That didn't really surprise me.
Nope. Didn't either.
Jimmy Butler, he's got a fire in him right now. Jimmy Butler does for Miami. I mean, he's got he's doing a Dwayne Wade and stuff in Miami. I mean, he's that good of a player. He's putting up big numbers. He put up 40 against Milwaukee.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the All-Stars scoring these many points a game, though, because it's going to burn you out.
Well, he hasn't burned himself out. I mean, he went through the Pacers pretty good, Jimmy did. I say Miami's got a good chance of upsetting the Bucks. If the Bucks
if they don't get back to focused on basketball.
Yeah. I mean, if Giannis is the only player that's going to show up for the Bucks, they're not going to beat the Heat. You're not going to beat the Heat.
No, you won't.
You're just not.
You'll have problems.
But
and then looking out at the Western Conference,
yep.
We have a Game 7 between Utah and Denver tonight. That's been a high-scoring series.
It's been a high-scoring, no lot of defense.
No defense whatsoever.
There's been 2 players that scored 50 or more for either team too. Either team that have 50 or more. So,
yep.
I forgot the players' names. But
for what team, Joe?
Go for the Denver and
Okay, yep. Hold on, we'll fix it.
In Utah.
I'll put this in right now.
Yeah.
Let me get some players in the mix here. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic.
Yep. Jamal Murray's been the big.
Pull another win to keep their season alive. Yeah, for Game 7. The game's at 8:30. I can't believe they're on ABC tonight. Actually, they're on national TV.
Yep. Well.
So, but either way, I mean, you've had 2 competitive Game 7s, and they're out in the West, and of course that's why the NBA is behind schedule right now.
Yeah, it is.
What happened?
The other Game 7 is Oklahoma and
Houston.
Which, if James Harden doesn't show up.
If James Harden doesn't show up tonight, I think
he's out. He's out.
Changes. Oh, no, I've seen making changes.
Well, Houston will make a change at the coaching position.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Really?
I forgot their what's their.
I know who you're talking about. I know the coach's name.
Yeah, slipped my mind.
No, well, all right, wait. Oh,
Houston
Rockets head coach. Yeah, of course. I feel like I'm a guy who's coming up with all these names. Mike D'Antoni.
Offensive coach. Yep. I mean, if he doesn't get it done, I mean, the game number 6 for Houston, they put the ball in Westbrook's hands at the end.
Of course, trying to beat his former team.
Try to beat the former team, but he didn't get the job done. They should have put the ball in Harden's hands. That's your best player. That's your best offensive player. You need to get him the ball. I mean, design some plays. Even let him bring up the ball. He needs to have the ball.
Yeah, because if he doesn't, guess what? Harden may want out of Houston too if this doesn't go well tonight. So, Oklahoma, you got nothing to lose tonight.
No, Oklahoma has nothing to lose. Nothing.
I mean, their head coach is safe regardless, even though, I still can't believe he left the University of Florida to go to the NBA. But
yeah. So, I mean, CP3 is carrying that team. He's doing it.
Of course, Chris Paul, naturally.
Yep. He's doing a great job doing that, and he's trying to defeat his older team, Houston. So he's got a chip on his shoulder. And players
absolutely.
Who play with
a world of confidence right now.
Yep. Who's winning the Celtics game? Celtics winning.
No, they're down 4 points, down 58-54.
You're making them down on points, aren't you?
Third quarter. It just started the third quarter.
Yeah. That's all your fault.
No, I don't think so. And then I have to turn on to hockey to get ready, but it's not
okay.
But I will turn. No, I'm not quite done with the NBA yet either. I got about another minute or two on it because I want to talk about the Clippers and the Lakers, how they've advanced into the next round. Even though the Lakers, I thought Portland would give the Lakers fits, but unfortunately, their best player for Portland did get hurt.
Yeah, I think
Game 4 that he got hurt, and then once that happened,
no chance on that.
And then the Dallas Mavericks did give the Clippers a little bit of a fight, but and even the Clippers were like up by a ton, and they laid back, and Dallas got within 5, I think, and then
Clippers turned the gear on, and they finished off Dallas. I think Dallas had an injury too.
I think if Doc Rivers has to get to the third round for his coaching job, or is he safe now because he got out of the first round?
I think he hasn't won a championship there in a while.
The most he's gotten is the second round.
Yeah, I think he has to go to the finals with this team that they crafted. I think they have to go to the finals.
Conference finals, correct? Not the whole finals.
Well,
got to get to the conference finals to be safe.
Conference finals to be safe. Finals to be really safe.
Yeah, well, he makes it to the finals. You can give him a contract extension.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at that. So it's going to be a very good Game 7 to go with. And then of course the Celtics and Raptors are ongoing right now. So.
Yeah, which your vibe is not having them win.
Yeah, well, if you do lose though, it's not a big deal yet. You only have the series even 1-1, so
it's still a big deal.
I know. You'd rather go up 2-0 at this point. So, oh God.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Birdie. Okay. Now, I guess now with the NBA, now I got to talk a little NHL on the happy side.
Yeah, you can talk a little NHL. We got about 25 minutes.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm not going to spend all the time on it. So, as you know, I'm wearing a Boston Bruins fan because there's a lot of friends that I know who are Bruins fans. And, when we were on the show last week, we talked about Tuukka Rask, and I was thinking, okay, Yaroslav Halak was going to be the one who's going to fix this to get him through to the playoffs. Well, in game number 2, was it game? Wait, no, it was game 3. The Bruins laid an egg, unfortunately. Yep. And even my aunt said it best. Once they took a penalty, from there on, it was going downhill. And unfortunately, it did go that route. So Tampa Bay decided to Joe, this is not a time to get tired, though.
Sleepy.
No, the Boston Bruins ran out of gas. I mean, Game 5, they played their best game that they could. And then it went to double overtime. The Tampa Bay Lightning are 4-0 right now. They're 4-0 in the playoffs so far when it goes to an extra period. They have played so far 10 overtimes.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, including that 5 overtime game against Columbus in the first round. But I don't know how they're able to do it. They have no Steven Stamkos. Ryan McDonough came back from an injury. Nikita Kucherov got a high stick. He tried to come back in the second period. Then he couldn't make it, so he didn't finish the rest of the game. And, of course, Victor Hedman decided, you know what, I'm going to end this game at 11:12 p.m. last night because this game could have gone deep into the night. And that could have been an advantage for Tampa Bay because they were already thin with some players. And then the other series in the East, which is tonight, which is going to start in it's going to start in like 10 minutes. The New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers. If the Islanders win tonight, that would wrap it up, and that would be the end for the bubble in Toronto because there are no more games after this round. Everybody goes to Edmonton for the rest of the way. So, and if that does to be the case, there is a game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and if that series gets wrapped up, you got to give the Eastern Conference a couple of days to readjust the time zone because being in Edmonton to them, it's going to be a 2-hour time change.
Okay.
And that's the same thing. Both know very well in all sports. When you go play at another stadium in a different time zone, you're going to feel it.
Yeah. I've never been in another time zone.
Oh, I have. Yeah. I have been to Vancouver and I have been to Alaska, so I know what it's like.
Okay.
But anyway, and then the Western Conference, Las Vegas can take care of business tonight against Vancouver. They win that game. They will advance to the next round. If they don't, then I think Game 6 is going to be Thursday night. And then tomorrow night, Dallas and Colorado have a Game 6. That's an 8 o'clock game. Yes, I can stay up for that one because it's not a 9 or 10 o'clock start.
You're going to stay up to them for all of them anyways.
No, well, not for most. Well, not for some of them, but for most.
If they even went at midnight, 2, 3 in the morning, you're
midnight,
for all of them.
Midnight I can. After that, we got a problem.
There's no problem that Mountain Dew can't solve.
No, I don't even drink Mountain Dew, so I don't even drink that kind of soda at night, Joe. So
sure you do. Stay up all night Mountain Dew in it.
But the Colorado Avalanche are now starting their third-stringer goaltender, Michael Hutchinson, now because their other one, Jeff Francouz, didn't look comfortable in game number 5, so they elected to let Hutchinson play. He got the victory. Dallas started Ben Bishop after he was unfit to play for a couple of weeks. He gave up 4 goals in the first period. See you later. He got the axe back to the bench. Here came Anton Khudobin. But I will tell you, Colorado got very silly in the second period, taking some dumb penalties, and it almost led Dallas to coming back. And they got within 5-3. But after that, Colorado scored the empty netter. I said, okay, well, prepare yourself, folks, for Game 6 tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So, but the next time, of course, we will be talking, it will be the third round of the playoffs.
Yes.
For hockey. So, but anyway, we got 20 minutes left, so we will go ahead with the baseball and the trading deadline, Joe.
Trading deadline. All right. Trading deadline ended, and the Yankees didn't do anything.
You need to.
Well, yeah, that's true. We needed a starting pitcher. Another starting pitcher because
after Cole, you guys are a little bit.
After Cole, it's a little iffy.
Yup. Even Tanaka, he hasn't been the same ever since he took that shot at practice.
Yeah, and the Big Maple's not coming around. I mean, we got a lot on the injured list right now for the Yankees.
Judge went back to the IL.
Yeah, I mean, we have an all-star team on the injured list right now. So, the San Diego Padres, they
hit the jackpot.
They hit the jackpot. They went all in. Let's pull up their trade thing.
Absolutely.
Discussed it.
I will bring it up right now.
Yes, right now. You are at my command. You do what I tell you to.
Well,
Bring the kitty in.
That's why you're the host and I'm the co-host. So that's why
that's why you're doing the work.
That's why I'm doing the work. Yes.
But San Diego Padres.
So the first thing I want to talk about is,
what?
It was the latest one that they did.
For the starting pitcher.
The guy from Cleveland.
Yep.
Okay. My gut was about that one. The reason why he got moved is because it all started when he left the bubble, didn't say where he was going, didn't give permission, and he decided, we're gonna have the team bash at him, and rumors said they were gonna leave the team.
Yeah.
But instead, they stayed, and I guess they didn't like what he said, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But I'm very not skeptical about getting rid of all your farm prospects. It all depends on how many you really wanted to get rid of. I would have at least kept your top pick.
Well, if you're going all in on this season to possibly win the World Series, I mean, it's not a bad season to go all in because you only got 60 games. I mean, I think the Cleveland player, the pitcher, I think you got him for another couple of years too. After this, it's not a one and done deal. It's not that. But if you haven't been relevant in like 100 years, like the Padres haven't been, I mean, you might as well give your fan base what you want. And go all in, Who's Padres' best player?
Manny Machado right now.
Machado. They got him a couple years ago. They paid him.
Big bucks.
He's delivering.
They couldn't get
Coachy. Coachy, what are you doing eating your hand?
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm looking at
Nobody wants to see you eat your hand. You're devouring your hand, and it's like, oh, no.
Yeah, Joe, when I do that, that means
you need a sandwich or something.
No, I'm reading what San Diego actually got with all these players.
Well, read the thing. No, I
am right now. You keep talking.
Yeah, the camera's on me.
Okay, it's on you. Go.
Okay. But, when you get Machado, when you get a whole bunch of money and stuff like that, I think they were setting up to make a push back then and slowly build your team, getting an all-star like that, to come to your team. That will keep him happy there for a while too. And, and push your chips all in. And you really don't need a farm team right now or a AAA ball club because there is no AAA. There's no AAA this year.
All you're doing is sending your pitchers to go to their off-season club just to stay fresh and stay loose.
Yeah, that's all you're doing.
Yep. So, he also, of course, the Red Sox gave Mitch Moreland his goodbyes to San Diego as well.
Yep. So you got him.
But there's just so many that they were going for. Like I said, the last time they made this effort is when they made it to the World Series when they played the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And then of course that's when they had the late great Tony Gwynn on the team, and their manager was Bruce Bochy. For anybody who didn't know.
Yeah. It's called going all in. When a team pushes their chips towards the center, you're going all in. I mean, this makes them probably for the NL behind the Dodgers, probably the second best team in the NL.
I mean, this is what I'm reading. On Saturday, the Padres traded a prospect and a player to be named later for Trevor Rosenthal, arguably the best reliever on the market and pending free agent. And then, of course, the bullpen had been a weak link, and Pats closer Kirby Yates suffered season-ending injury.
So they strengthened that. They got that back.
Sunday, the Padres traded one of their very top prospects, Taylor Trammell, to the Seattle Mariners for catcher Austin Nola.
Okay.
Along with pitching prospect Andres Munoz, catcher Luis Torrens, and infielder Ty France, who had been a solid bench contributor this season.
See, they're gearing up for that extra DH and stuff like that. They're gearing up.
Well, their catchers weren't done yet. The Padres also got another catcher, Jason Castro from the Angels, for reliever Guerrero Reyes.
Yep. That
was a minor deal. The Padres further bolstered. They got Mitch Moreland, who was a lefty masher. Thought they wouldn't need the NL team thought they wouldn't need a DH when they started building their rosters, but of course now he can. And then of course they got Mike Clevenger from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Along with on a deal along with Josh Naylor, who had been a solid bench performer for the. Okay, so he went to Cleveland, and pitcher Cal Quantrill and 3 minor leaguers, outfielder Greg Allen, a player we named, came over from Cleveland in the trade, brings us up to 8 players and 14 players out. That's acceptable. That's an acceptable ratio.
Yeah.
And they weren't done either. Mm-hmm. They also have interest in Joey Gallo, one of the bright spots generally on our Texas Rangers team. But
yeah, that's a pitcher too, right?
Yup.
Gallo's a pitcher. I think the Yankees are interested too.
Mm-hmm.
In that one.
But I thought San Diego was the big splash. You didn't really hear any other teams really going for anything.
Well, in a shortened season like this, do you really want to go all in? When you're a buyer or a seller, and the Red Sox were probably going to be a seller, and the Yankees hopefully.
I was thinking we were going to get rid of J.D. Martinez. That's what my thought was a little bit.
Yeah. So, other teams don't want to push it this season probably.
San Diego got Mookie Betts, okay, then you would not have seen San Diego make all these moves.
No, they would have had their puzzle piece, and with Manny Machado and Mookie Betts, holy crap, that's a good team.
You got and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Eric Hosmer, crud. You got a big 1, 2, 3, 4 punch who's still, by the way, still talk about hitting 5 grand slams in 6 games, which is still phenomenal.
But if you look at the top of the AL list with the Minnesota Twins, they really didn't need much.
Nope.
They have their pitching, they have their bullpen, they have the hitting, and
then of course the White Sox are sitting in first place in the AL Central. I would never have figured that.
No, but the White Sox are sitting there.
Yep. Like I said, short season, anything's up for grabs, even the worst teams in the world.
Yep.
Still in.
Short season, you're no home field advantage in the playoffs because they're talking about a bubbling the playoffs. You're going to get 8.
We're still waiting for the cities to be announced for that.
Yep. And it's going to be 8 teams in, It's going to be 16 teams into this playoff.
You have to do it in 2 cities. You cannot do it in 1.
Yeah, you're going to have the NL on one side and like hockey did, and the AL on the other side. And then they're going to merge somewhere.
You have to determine where do you play, and there's no fans, by the way, again.
Probably no fans, no.
So we'll but that's for another later date at that point.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some information on that and get it out to you. What's the Celtics score?
Okay, they are down 72-66 with 3:46 to go in the third quarter on Toronto. The Flyers and Islanders are scoreless. They are over 6 minutes into the first period. So that's what I have so far.
I don't like that Celtics score. This is all your fault.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think so.
But okay, so we got about 7 minutes left in the show.
We actually got 10 minutes. About 10.
Okay. All right. So a couple things that are going on.
Let's wrap up with a couple things.
Yep. U.S. Open. started yesterday.
Yep.
We did have a positive case, and that player was sent home immediately.
Yep.
They had to turn around and go right back home. The first round, the ongoing first round's going on today. It feels very weird. The only people that are allowed to be there is your coach and 2 other guests.
Okay.
How
That's
fun
an
is
empty
that?
stadium. Yeah. That's it.
You get your chair umpire, you get your other umpires. Now, in between sets, normally the ball people will bring a towel to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joe, don't get sleepy. I know you went to work today, but
yeah. Well, this is what happens when we do a weekly show.
A weekly show, but you know what? Sometimes this is better off. Sometimes, but yeah. Anyway, you have to get the towel yourself. They can't bring it to you.
Yeah, okay, you got to get your own towel. Oh no!
There's a towel sitting near the corner area. There's still security guards and stuff in case the tennis players want to go have a fight or something like that.
Yeah. Those dangerous tennis fights. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, you don't.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Unless you're John McEnroe.
Yeah. Then you want to fight. But I heard there's actually been some exciting rounds so far. There's been some...
our U.S. kid, Coco Gauff, unfortunately, who's 16 years old, she got beat in the first round. I was expecting she was going to have a nice long run again.
Yeah.
But she ran out of time in that. The Tour de France is underway, too. They are now in they have completed stage 4. I'm trying to get this as quick as I can here.
Yeah, you got some time.
Okay.
The Tour de France, I didn't even know that was going on. Without any big names.
No, there isn't. But there has been so many crashes this year.
I mean,
the stages. The worst one was a guy going into a pole where the sign was, and he bonked his helmet head first right into the sign. I had to look the other way.
Well, did the sign say stop or something? Maybe he could have did that or anything like that. The sign said, "Don't crash into me." One of those things. But
yeah, more like yield. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, has the Tour de France really had any stars in the past decade or anything?
There's been different winners.
Yeah, and they've had a 1 year span of victory and stuff.
It's normally after the Stanley Cup Finals are over, but unfortunately this year it went on to August.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's this name I'm going to try to pronounce.
There you go. Try again.
All right. Primoz Roglic wins stage 4 of the 2020 Tour de France. Rolled out from the French Riviera. Yeah, from the French Riviera on the 29th, and of course through September 20th with the ending in Paris in stage 21.
Yep.
Your leader right now is Julian Alaphilippe of France. And then there's one person's 4 seconds behind Adam Yates, and then Primoz Roglic, who won the stage today, is 7 seconds back from Slovakia. The closest we have for the United States right now is Semp Koss, who's 2 minutes and 33 seconds behind.
Well, I thought it was me and a moped. Probably the closest.
No, but the way sometimes with these mopeds are over there, Joe, they get in the cyclist's way and they cause a crash.
Well, I would just knock them all out of the way and win the race.
Yeah, of course. Why don't you just bring a pool stick with you and just put 8 ball in the side pocket off the road?
Yeah, I would do that too, Coachy. But so that was some good information about the Tour de France. I haven't heard any information about that in ages.
I know. Well, don't worry. I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm not going to go overkill on it. Maybe when we get to the last stage, we'll go a little bit deeper into that. But golf is its final weekend of the playoffs before we crown a winner, and then the U.S. Open's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep. Let's see. It's the Belmont, not the Belmont, the Kentucky Derby is coming up.
Yep.
Ty Law or Tis the Bee. Tis the Bee?
Yup.
Tis the Bee.
Mm-hmm. Is
Tizzy
the heavy favorite too.
is the heavy favorite to win that. So he may win a Triple Crown. That horse will be happy.
Yeah, but what are they going to do with the Preakness, Joe? Are they going to make it a short course, or are they going to make it even a longer course since the Preakness is the final stage of the horse race?
Yeah, but that'd be a quadruple crown.
Yeah, it could be. It could be because you also have the when the Belmont went first, it was not a very long race. They shortened it.
Yeah, and then the Kentucky Derby's last this year.
No, Preakness is last. No, Kentucky Derby's second.
Oh.
The Preakness is in October.
You sure?
Positive. I kept hearing how they were going to do it, too.
Yeah, but Tis the Law just ran another race, though.
This is how it starts.
All right, stop.
It's been broken.
I don't need to.
What is this, your reading lessons?
It's a commercial.
Sure it is. This is your reading lessons.
Yeah, I don't need to hear
Coachy learns to read.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's Saturday, October 3rd.
October 3rd, okay.
So, yes, it is the first week of October. So after this race on the 5th, it's going to be a whole month before we do it all over again.
All right.
Then it's complete. So, and then for you football people, well, yeah, we will be talking about next week with the NFL. That will be our opening topic.
All right, you got a couple minutes if you want to do some fantasy football.
I'm going to right now. As you all know, next week the National Football League starts a week from Thursday. Now, we're 9 days away.
9 days away, hopefully.
Fantasy football people like I do.
Tom Brady's a traitor.
Yeah, well, Tom Brady was ranked number 8 according to some polls in the fantasy league. Believe it or not,
He ranked 0 in my book.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Drew Brees is number 11 in the quarterback, but anyway, be very careful who you take in the first couple rounds. It could come back to haunt you. I mean, the number 1 quarterback from what I've read, I can give you 3 quarterbacks. Number 1, the one for Baltimore,
Lamar Jackson.
Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes. I thought Mahomes and Jackson would be the other way, 1, 2 instead. It's flip-flopped.
Yeah.
And number 3 is Russell Wilson of Seattle.
Yeah.
So those are your 3, but I'm not going to go too much into it because I know we're almost pressed for time. But
yeah, I wouldn't, but
I'm not. But I'm just giving you.
We'll spend more time on fantasy football next
week
yep. When football will be kicking. Well, it won't be next week. It will be Sunday.
Next Thursday. Yeah.
Next Thursday.
Yeah. So we have to do a show before next Thursday.
Yep, we do.
And then the running backs, unfortunately, Alvin Kamara, I can't believe this. He was at training camp, and now he's holding out, which I was not very happy to hear about that. And I hope the Saints do not have to trade him, because if they trade him, New Orleans is in trouble. In that game against Tampa Bay, it's going to be one of these no-defense games for New Orleans, because I don't think you can trust Latavius Murray to your other running back. I really don't. And Drew Brees really can't throw the ball back deep.
He's getting up in age. Yeah, he is.
Between that, Tom Brady's up there too. There's a couple quarterbacks.
There's a lot of over-the-hill quarterbacks this year in the league, period. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was
in that category.
And Cam Newton, I'm not considering him yet, but he's up there.
He's 35. Or 32 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I would say that Matthew Stafford's up in the age.
Well, don't worry. For all you Jacksonville Jaguar fans, and you didn't hear, they traded away their best defensive end player. He had enough. He went to Minnesota. And then Leonard Fournette was released yesterday, and nobody picked him up, so now he's a free agent.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer that Jacksonville got rid of him, but probably for him it might be a better idea, because you don't know how much moaning he would be.
Yeah.
Distraction.
Yeah. It is. This year is very a lot of old quarterbacks are finishing their time
and careers. Well,
that's what I meant by time and career.
Yep.
But there's there's a lot of young quarterbacks this year. There's not too many middle-of-the-age quarterbacks that are actually decent or anything. I would call Russell Wilson middle, almost to the middle.
Hey, if he's a top 3 quarterback, he's looking pretty good. Mahomes
is still fresh and new.
Still fresh. He's just got to be careful he doesn't get hit in the knee again.
Yeah, and pop that thing out. Lamar Jackson is still fresh and new.
Be very careful running the football because it can be very dangerous if you don't do it correctly.
But there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks out there, a lot of second-year quarterbacks or a lot of third-year quarterbacks out there.
Well, Garrett Minshew of Jacksonville probably is now starting this year.
Yep.
Now, I don't know about the one from Miami. I haven't heard much about if he's going to be starting or not, but that's
Tudorlolo.
That's the one. I see him not starting yet.
I hopefully they don't start him. I think they'll start Ryan Fitzpatrick and just putting the old guy in there and, let him learn a little bit. But,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Before we start our thing, I do want to mention for you college football fans, Labor Day, there is a college football game between BYU and Navy on Labor Day Monday night. So the figure I get that in there, and the Big Ten is trying anything they can to start the season. Right now, they want to try Thanksgiving, but they're trying so hard to push it now. It's too little, too late. Because you need more practice if you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. You're going to be playing into really cold weather and stuff like that, and I mean, it's a mess with college.
Domes every game. That's almost like
no.
In a bubble.
Yeah, you can't put all 300 college campuses in bubbles.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Before we go, I want to tell you about our YouTube page. Our views are going up.
Yep, our views are going up. We had like 63 or 64 views on the special guest show. They like the guests. That's what if you guys want to see more guests, we'll get some more people on.
We'll get some more people on, and we'll talk about what we can talk about and what we can't talk about because of their copyright by law.
Yep.
But we are starting to go up on the views a little bit, and we hope to keep it going that way. It's a long way to go. I mean, this is our 15th episode.
Yep.
So we're almost to a point where we're almost hitting our first season at the halfway point almost.
I know. We're going big for what we've been doing.
It's going to keep getting better and better, but we just have to remember we have to know when we're both going to have our time to get on here and talk about what's going on, which we will. It's just, soon it might start getting a little pressed for time, but we will find a way to do it, and we will get our show in.
Yes, we will.
We're
here for you, folks. We're here for your sporting views and stuff. We're here for you.
We're here to keep you guys all cheered up. I always get nice comments at work by a couple customers saying that your show is really good. I've had one that says, we'd rather listen to us than hear some other people on the radio because of their favorite teams. We don't do any favoritism.
Well, I may chuck in the Yankees once in a while, but that's just me. And you may up the Red Sox a little bit more.
Yeah,
which they are not the Americans team, but that'll spark another conversation.
Right, it's a conversation for to be determined.
Yeah. But thanks for the views. Thanks for everything. This has been the Sportsman Show. I've been your host, Joe Musil.
I am Jason Coachy DeCarolis. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And we will do this again next week on the eve when we start the NFL season in a much weird way.
Yes, we will. Hopefully it goes good and everything else. See you, folks.
Yeah. All right, folks. Have a good week. See you later. Talk next week.
Yep.